Now we're going to cross to the sister island of Tobago, and I'm going to be chatting with Ambassador Nickocy Phillips, leader and founder of TT Youth Will Rise. And we're speaking about the CSW 64. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, Ambassador, great to be chatting with you again.
Same to you and Happy New Year to you and all the listening public of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you, thank you. You too. It's actually the first time we're chatting for the year. That's right. Now, tell us about the conference that you've been invited to attend on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, this year, this is the 64th session on the status on the Commission of Women. That will be held at the United Nations. That's the one I did last year was the 63rd.
Right.
This year, it's going to be, the main focus on the session will be a review appraisal on the implementation of the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action and the outcomes of the 23rd special session of the General Assembly, which include all world leaders. The review will include an assessment of current challenges that affect the implementation of the Platform for Action and Achievement of Gender Equality and the Empowerment of Women and its contributions to the full realization of the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development.
So where do we stand right now? So what are we looking like for that review in regards to what you mentioned just now?
Well, so far, last year you all had a very good delegation there representing, also myself. We have a lot more to put in terms of our laws in terms of gender equality and our definition of gender equality, because although it's a women's conference, gender equality goes a long way in terms of the base violence against women and men. And, you know, as I said, we've been leaving out men a lot. And just recently I saw a Facebook post where this woman was abusing a man and slapping him up in public. And you know, those are things that we need to look at and implement strongly and firmly. And we will have the implementations in our policies, yes, but it needs to be enforced the way it's supposed to. And I think we have a lot more to do in terms of gender equality in this country, but I think that our leaders and our ministers, they are doing sufficient enough to get that done.
Now, you mentioned that we could be doing more. Just from your perspective and your experience, what specifically could we be doing a little bit better here in Trinidad and Tobago?
We need to, the government now, or whoever government, you know, they need to start working with the NGOs the way that they're supposed to. You know, it's very sad to see that all these violent crimes against women that are happening, we don't see some of the NGOs and the groups that are supposed to be speaking out or doing something to try to prevent this. I know that the Commissioner of Police have just put something in place for that, serious crimes against women and men, and I congratulate him a lot for that. And you know, I think they should actually start working with the NGOs, and I'm continuously saying that, because the NGOs are the first responders to deal with some of these issues in the community. And it doesn't matter who the idea comes from or who the project comes from, we all need to start working together. That is what is missing in our society. And you know, the respect for women and the respect for men comes from yourself. And I think we have lost the essence of it takes a village to raise a child, but it could also take a village to destroy one. So I think our policies need to be updated, especially in regards to child protection. What I find with some of the policies and the implementations in that policy, it looks like it's outdated, because gender equality is not even a part of it, I think, because based on my information or based on what I would have read from that protection, the children protection, where is gender equality and what is the definition of the gender equality that they have there to protect the rights of children? So I think we have a good way to go. It's 2020. The vision, we can't have a vision now. This is time for us to start getting a grip of reality of what our crimes are and what is going on in our society.
Definitely, definitely. And Ambassador, as you go into the 64th edition, so to say, of this general meeting, what is your agenda for it? What are you going to put to the forefront?
I'm not hearing anything, you know.
Do you hear me?
No, yeah, I'm hearing you now. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, fantastic. Now that you are going into the 64th edition of this meeting, what is your agenda, and what are you going to put to the forefront of, the top issue that you are going to address on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago?
I will be addressing or I'll be looking to see if I can go to all the NGO meetings to reestablish what are the new policies in regards to the protection of women and the rights of women and children and young girls. I will also be meeting with some of the NGOs that I would have partnered with to share how we are now and what our leadership styles in terms of women, as Sunday's election in Tobago have clearly shown that Tobago is moving forward in terms of leadership. And that is something major that could stand out while at the UN. And to speak about, our first female political leader, that is something that is very, very strong. Also, I'll be meeting with some of the groups and the organization in New York that will continue some of the projects that we will be doing in terms of gender equality. I will try to update myself more about the definitions of gender equality and see how best. You see, even though I'm there and getting the information, bringing the information back and trying to meet with the different NGOs is a little difficult because you have to get funding, you're not getting any support from the government or, wherever you think. So it's kind of difficult spreading the information. So when I'm there, it's going to be a lot on my plate this year. This year, I'm going to make Tobago shine even more than how I made it. Trinidad and Tobago shine even more than how I made it this year. I'm looking at this point in time, I've sent out letters to the ministries and the Tobago also Assembly. I hope they received it in regards to get funding or sponsorship. I would have also started, me and my executive would have started our own fundraisers just in case, because after this trip to the UN, I might be going to Slovenia to meet with the government. And as I met with the president the last time, we will be continuing discussions on the building of the youth rehabilitation facility that I want to build in Tobago. We'll also be having conversations on how we can partner and what can they do to help us here, our NGO here in Trinidad and Tobago. And there will be a lot more. As I said, when I'm there, I will be continually giving updates to TTT and I'll be bringing you all up to date. So I will represent, trust me, I will represent with or without the support. I will represent and make sure Trinidad and Tobago's name stay very proud as usual.
You always do, and congratulations on all the work that you've done so far. Keep fighting the good fight. I want to thank you for joining us this morning, Ambassador Nickocy Phillips, leader and founder of TT Youth Will Rise.